Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So yesterday my guild killed Mythic Archimonde for the last time, and with that it marked the end of Warlords of Draenor for me personally. So I thought that I would do a quick video going over what I liked and what I didn't like about Warlords of Draenor, and go into some things that I'm excited about and maybe a little hesitant about in regards to Legion. So I hope you enjoy this video, and let's just get right into it. I want to start with my dislikes for Warlords of Draenor. So I think I'm going to start off with the sort of criticism that everyone has of WoD, and that is no content. There was only 2 patches. The first big patch that we got, quote unquote, really brought nothing. It was called the selfie patch, I think, because it brought around the selfie camera and no one really gave a shit about that. So my biggest concern about Warlords of Draenor was that really there was just no content. I also didn't like the fact that there were just 3 raids. Again, that sort of plays into the no content kind of aspect of it. Reps were really just terrible grinds this expansion. I felt like I had just had these awful grinds to get all of the mounts that I wanted, and on the same line, the mounts that we got rewarded were really kind of garbage. There was like 40 different types of boars, for example. Not really 40 different types of boars, but you know what I mean. There was a minimum, there was at least 10 different variations of boars. Mounts, again, you know, just weren't exciting, and that's my complaints about that. I also didn't like the closed off aspect of the garrison, so you were sort of kept in this constrained area where you were surrounded by no one but your followers, but those aren't real people. I didn't like the shipyard or the garrison aspect of just standing there and then sending off your minions to go do things in the world instead of you yourself going off to do things in the world. I don't really consider Ashran a major city, and one of my favorite things to do is, you know, hang around in the major city, get to know people, make friends and stuff. So that was, these are just some of my criticisms about Warlords of Draenor. However, there were some things that I did like, or that I didn't hate, I guess, about the expansion. One of those was the raids. So Warlords of Draenor had some good raids in my opinion. I really enjoyed the Mythic Imperator fight. I actually thought that was very fun to progress on. And I didn't hate HFC. I thought that those raids were okay. There was no raid where I was like, well, I can't wait to go raid on that, but there was nothing that I hated, nothing that I really dreaded, so I guess that's a plus? Who knows? Um, so the pre-made group system I think was actually a really good add. The being able to pug without, you know, the constraints of having to go to a third-party website is a great addition to the game, and I'm glad they're keeping that moving forward. I think that was a good add to Warlords of Draenor. And this isn't really related to the expansion, but I joined a guild that I love, so I'm very excited to be a part of Evolve on Area 52. It happened during, you know, WoD, so I'm going to chalk it up to being part of WoD that I really liked, even though the expansion itself had nothing to do with that. So I'm going to move on to Legion by Warlords of Draenor. um, so I'll really start with the one criticism or the one concern that I have about Legion, and that's the RNG aspect of the legendaries. For the majority of people, you know, this isn't really going to be a big deal, but for, I get quote unquote like semi-hardcore to hardcore raiders like myself, I think this is really going to sort of make or break a lot of parts of the expansion. Having a legendary drop just killing a mob, and there's really no grind, there's no quest chain, there's nothing that you have to do. It's not very rewarding to just, oh, I killed a boar, oh, exciting, just got legendary. Like, it's really cool for the moment, but it's not something that you work towards, so I think there's a little bit less of a reward there. And that's really my only concern, so let's go right into the things that I am excited about. The content flow promise being the key one of them. So content flow, as I mentioned in a previous video, Mager has quote unquote sort of promised us a flow of content that we're going to be happy with. He said that they have learned from their mistakes in Warlords of Draenor and that they got us. And I'm really excited about that. I also think the storyline is the best storyline that they've had in a while. I love the story of the Legion. I like every time that they're mentioned in the novels. I think it's exciting. I think things that are really cool happen. Khadgar is one of my favorite personal lore characters. and Medivh is a huge part of the Khadgar storyline, and I love Medivh, so I think there's definitely going to be an appearance by Medivh or something, you know, related to Medivh in Legion, so I'm very excited about that. I also think that there's a lot of cool zones with Legion, so I'm going to focus on Sormar, which is the level 110 zone. There's a level dedicated to, there's a zone, sorry, dedicated to you when you reach max level, and that's Sormar. And I did play through it when I was playing on the beta, and I think that it's really fun. The storyline is really superb. The mechanics for a lot of the quests have you do things that we've really never done before, and I really am excited for everyone to sort of experience that, and I think it's a good part of Legion. Moving forward, I also think that world quests, and they're the new look on dailies. They're really great. Dailies kind of get stale. They weren't very exciting, and we've had them in every expansion. World Quest is a really cool new take on that, and I'm excited to see everybody's feedback. But for me personally, I think it's great. You have, you know, there's gold world quests, there's world quests for things like pets. I've heard rumors of there being world quests for mounts. Artifact power for me personally is the most important, so definitely going to do those. And they range in difficulty, so I think these are really exciting, and I'm looking forward to seeing what everyone else thinks about these. The variety of mounts, so this is sort of like a counter to one of my things that I didn't like about WoD. There's so many different types of mounts that we've already seen for Legion. For example, a lot of the ones that you get from fishing, I'm like, what are these creatures? I've never seen these creatures before. Like, please tell me more. It makes me really excited, and it makes me interested in earning them, and it'll be rewarding when I do finally achieve them. So that's what I like about the mounts. And Dalaran, oh my gosh, we're going back to Dalaran. Some of you may or may not know, I'm sort of a Wrath baby, so I did start playing in Wrath of the Lich King, and Dalaran is the coolest place to hang out as far as I'm concerned, and I'm very excited to go stand next to the bank on top of the mailbox where I always stood during Wrath, and I'm very excited about that. So I do love Dalaran. Even though it's a different Dalaran, I'm excited to be back in the Dalaran-esque zone. Artifact weapons are awesome, especially the shaman artifact weapon. I think it looks great. I love all of the different types of skins and things that you can have with it. I am in love with it, which leads me into my last point. Shamans are freaking awesome in Legion. Can we be serious? I feel like an actual god on my shaman right now. Healing is very fun. I'm very immersed in the character. I think they definitely succeeded with class fantasy in regards to the shaman class, especially for restoration. Like when I'm healing, the effects on my spells really make me feel like I'm calling the water elements and the earth elements to really help me like heal my allies, and that's really cool. It's not something that I felt in a while. You sort of get, you know, in this drone playing the game, this monotonous way of doing it, and they have really made you feel like your character, which is awesome. I think that's a huge achievement in Legion. And the class hall is superb. I love the Shaman class hall. I did level up a priest. I've seen the Warlock, and I've seen the Demon Hunter class hall. And the Shaman one, from the ones that I've also seen the Rogue one, the Shaman one is so much better. Being in the Maelstrom is the coolest thing, and I am really excited for you guys to tell me how you feel about your class's halls, but you're not going to sway me. The Shaman one is the coolest, so yeah, I think that really wraps up my feelings on WoD and how I feel about what's coming in Legion. If you guys could, I'd love to hear what you thought about Warlords of Draenor. Did you agree with some of my points? Were there some things that I missed? Leave those in the comments below. I really want to know what you guys think. And if you also could, just tell me, what are you most excited about in Legion? Leave a comment, and we'll see if we're aligned on that. If you're completely excited about something different than me, I'm curious. So let me know. And thanks guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure that if you do like the kind of videos that I'm putting out, you click that subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye!